Hi, Scott here from Pillow, and this video I'm going to share my top 5 tips for handling negative reviews online. So as somebody that owns a guest house, hotel, serviced apartments, even renting a room in your house, you will be aware that one negative review online can pretty much decimate your listing and end up costing you thousands and tens of thousands of pounds in profit in some cases. So handling online reviews, which you will get because people are very random, people are unfair. So here's my top 5 tips. There is many more, but I'm just going to stick to 5 just as a little introduction to this. So tip number 1 in handling negative reviews is avoid them going online in the first place. So sometimes a little bit of communication with the person, phoning them before they do it if they're unhappy. Don't just leave it to chance. Don't just hope that they'll give you no review. You don't want them putting on a review in the first place. So a negative review can be avoided by a little bit of communication, and just make sure you can do what you can to rectify that. They might never be happy, but at least they're not going online to give you that bad review. So tip number 1 is try and prevent it going online with proactive phone calls, emails, touching base with them and trying to rectify whatever it is before they put that negative review on. The next one, number 2, is respond promptly and politely. So everybody reacts emotionally if we see something bad written about one of our properties and we know it's wrong or unjustified. We want to go on and we want to put these people straight, but that's certainly not the way to do it. Everything in social media and on sites is in public record, everybody can see it. You want to be acting like a professional, you want to be dealing with this in a courteous manner, you want to be seen to responding to it straight away and actually caring about the customer's complaint. One, up in the Highlands, a good example, somebody's given a 1-star review in a property because they didn't have a phone signal. Now this is a remote Highland place and it's certainly nothing to do with the owner of the holiday home or the quality or standard that we were given. It just wasn't expected that these guys were pretty unhappy. So it would have been justified for Pillow to go on and start ripping these people to shreds and arguing, but certainly that wasn't the right thing to do. So it was just one of those, we just needed to take the hit in that. Be polite and courteous, and hopefully they might change their review in the future. But tip number 2, just respond and always remember people are watching everything you say. So promote yourself as professional as possible. Tip number 3 is take the argument offline. The example I've just given, we don't want to be arguing, lots of back and forth, things getting heated, people getting threatened. All this is online for people to see. Take it offline. You might never be able to rectify the situation. Any arguments you want back and forth in emails, you don't want these public records. So sometimes things happen, like cleaners let us down. These things happen. Boilers break, there's leaks, people give us bad reviews, but you don't want this continuing online, so take it offline. Tip number 4, handling negative reviews, is understanding how the different sites work. You need a comprehension of how all the different portals that you can get advertising on or get rated on work. So they're all different. Airbnb, for example, is totally different from TripAdvisor. Your private Facebook page is totally different from other things that might be online. So you need to have a good understanding of how these work. Sometimes you can contact them and they'll take it down. Sometimes you get a chance to respond. For Airbnb, for example, you can rate the guest first before they rate you, and giving them a good rating can always increase their rating of you. But if you go on and give them a stinking rating, they're not going to be saying anything good about you. So there's different things. So understand how the different portals work. There could be 10 different ways that somebody could respond to your property in their stay. So you need to understand them and have systems and measures in place to respond to these pretty quickly. Tip number 5 is pretty simple. So what you would expect is to rectify the issues. So somebody's giving you a negative review. We can't rectify phone signal, for example, but maybe there's something we could do to boost phone signal, put some electronics there. But you always want to be seen. And if that person's unhappy and you won't get them back as a customer, you know what, that's fine, these things happen. But you want anybody reading that to see these guys took action, they care, and they're conscientious owners and landlords. Good example. Somebody gave us a 2-star review for a lovely holiday home. It was really perfect by the sea, because the fridge wasn't big and they wanted to put their beer in. There was just one under-counter fridge, so when they put their food in, they didn't have space for their beer. So a 2-star review. So we actually implemented what they'd said. We got extended the worktop, put the beer fridge in, so a specific fridge for beer and wine, with a nice front, and put it back online. Told the guy, made the changes, and he upped his review from 2 stars, took it off, and did it for a 5-star review. So everybody could see that. Putting that fridge in also is a nice bit of publicity. People can see what you're doing. It's a reason for people to look that might not often look into your rating and your site. So great, it worked out perfect. So that negative rating there actually made an improvement to the property, and it probably increased the amount of money we're getting for it because it has an extra resource. So rectify these things. Now, sometimes you can't rectify issues because it's a leak, your cleaner lets you down, there's just random things that happen in the short-term lettings world. So thing that works particularly well for us is Amazon vouchers. So you've got the people's email address as well. File them off an Amazon voucher well in advance of them getting a chance to give you an online rating. So sometimes it's £10 for not returning a phone call. Sometimes it's £50 for turning up and the heating's not working. But you can an Amazon voucher is something everybody can spend, and it's very simple to do. You don't need to send addresses and wait 3 days until chocolates or gifts arrive. Amazon vouchers instantaneous, put their email address in, send it over, and it's done. So a very, very easy, simple, and actually cheap way to stop it. And if somebody was going to give you a 1 or 2 star review, would you pay £25 to avoid that? Of course you would. It's a very cheap price to avoid that review. Might not work, but it's certainly taking action to stop it working. So here's 5 tips to avoid negative reviews online. The overriding thing that I would say, the bit of advice, is systemize your customer service procedures. So you want to have it in your systems, in your procedures, that you eliminate negative reviews. Even if there's negativity there, you stop it going online with your procedures and your customer service, your phone calls, your emails, your follow-ups, and encourage those positive reviews. Because on average, if you've got 1 or 5 stars, you could have 10 5-star reviews and 1 1-star drops that down. So the more positive reviews gets your average up. So if you've got 2 reviews, one's 5-star, one's 1-star, it'll be 2.5 on average. So you want dozens, if not hundreds, of 5-star reviews just to keep that average up. But systemize everything, and then you should actually minimize, if not totally eliminate, any negative reviews hitting the public domain. So hope that helps.